All right, jumping right into it, files on form start and edit. So this feature is designed for those users that really wished while they're filling in like a form or an order, for example, that they had the ability to upload a file or a link or an image or anything like that to their order or form while they're editing it or starting new ones. So as the title suggests, this is a feature that's designed around the processes and form side of RPM. And yeah, so jumping right into my RPM here, if I go to the top left menu, and since this is a form feature, you'll notice it in every single one of your processes now automatically. You don't have to do anything to enable it or anything like that. So in this example, I'm just going to be clicking start on one of my orders. You'll notice this new box on the right here that will allow you to quickly add links or files to your order while you're filling it in. And of course, since you're filling in an order, you still have to follow all of the requirements and all that stuff that are part of the order. But now with the added benefit of being able to add and drag form files, links, folders, all that stuff into here. So yeah, so for example, the quickest and easiest use case is dragging a file from my computer directly into this form box here and then adding it. You can actually drag multiple files if you wanted to. So you can add 2 files at once or 3 files, however many files you want to upload at one time, and throw a note in here. And then this note would apply to all of the files I'm trying to upload, as well as more importantly, changing the security on this to not hidden, allowing you to pretty much set all of these files that you're about to upload to be viewable by like agents, for example, which is a better than having to do it one at a time and then manually setting it to not hidden every file. You can upload, say, 10 files at once, set it to not hidden, hit OK, and then it'll just show up there. So yeah, so you'll notice the note gets applied to every single file that we uploaded. And then if we're talking about links here, for example, if I click the link option, I can throw a link here. You can link anything. You can link your Google Drive, your OneDrive, other file repositories, things like that. And then this is just like a label, for example. And then this is the URL. You can add multiple links at once. The same thing's applied. Notes get applied to all of them. Security gets applied to all of them. So that's the other use case of it, being able to upload notes and things like that. And then very quickly, before I move on to like the setup and hey, what are all these folders and different options and things like that, I just want to show a kind of edge use case that we see once in a while, but maybe not all of our subscribers know about, is the ability, if you're using Outlook, to drag an email directly from your Outlook application, not the web browser, into your form here. So this will work for Outlook. It doesn't work for Google email or anything like that on your web browser. But if you're using the Outlook app, you had a email. I just have a draft here, for example. You can click and drag directly into this file folder like so. And I'll actually upload a copy of that email message directly into the order that we're filling out. So this can be useful if you just want to throw your correspondence in there really quickly and have that available for everyone to see. So yeah, so let me just get rid of the bar there on the left and then upload this. And we have all of our files. So if you don't like the new way of displaying it, you're not forced to use it. You can still upload the files the old way. As you notice that now that I submitted the form, I have the order files here and I can upload them as needed, whether through drag and drop or through the old links, and edit them as needed as well. So you're not forced to always edit the order form in order to edit files. You can still edit it outside of it. Yeah. So then I'm going to go quickly into the setup here and show you that the file folders allow for you to add multiple files. And if I quickly add one here, I can add a new one saying required documents as an example, and then I can switch this to required. Files allowed here, single with versions or multiple, just very quickly allows you to see if the file has the same name, it'll show up as like different versions, and always the newest version will be on top, and then the multiple will just show all of them. But anyways, so I set something required. I can add instructions here saying must upload a contract before order submission as a example use case. This could be for anything. You could accept any file type or anything like that. You're not forced to do it this way. This is just one of the use cases I could come up with this file folder feature. And now since it's required on the form start and form edit, when you start like a new order, somebody might be forced to have to upload a file in order to submit the order. So just be careful of that. If you're enabling that for that reason, you just have to be careful, because now the users are going to be forced to upload that file on form start and things like that. So yeah, so finally there's common files. This is just a file that shows up in every single form from start or from edit now, and all of your existing forms as well. The use case for common files is if you had maybe like an agency pricing sheet, supplier pricing sheet that you want to show at all times when somebody's starting like an order or starting a commission inquiry, you can just have that common file here, and that file will be accessible for everyone who's starting or viewing your forms. So that's what a common file does, and I'll kind of show you what happens on the form start when I start an order again here. But before that, I just want to quickly show you the visibility and names. You can actually customize those boxes or display panes in your process here. So you'll notice mine is called order files. By default, it's just called files. So if I change it back to that and then I hit start again, you'll notice that this folder, no folder, I folder in air quotes because it's not really a folder, it's a no folder folder, if that makes sense, is now renamed to files. So yeah, from here you could fill in your order like normal, and then now you'll notice that this error here is pretty much telling you, hey, you can't submit this order until you upload a file. So we can upload anything, so maybe just another logo, and that'll let us do it. And then last thing I want to mention, that common files that I was talking about, you'll see I just started this order and there's already a file attached to it. That's because of the common file option. So yeah, good for like pricing sheets, supplier pricing sheets, or just maybe like instructions. If you have a more complicated form that you want somebody to fill out, you can throw an instruction video in here or something like that. But yeah, that's what that is for. So yeah, final thing before I move on completely, if you're ever tired, just like even before that, a sneak peek of what we're working on is the ability to say upload order contracts. That's a common use case in telco. So the feature is that when you upload an order contract, if you're ever tired of having to upload it and then type in all of that information again, we're working on something that can scan a document that you upload into RPM and then fill in the corresponding fields for you. So hopefully that's an exciting feature for everyone, as it will cut down on a lot of manual entry and things like that. But more to come in the future. If you're interested in all of that stuff, please join our mailing list at support@rpmtelco.com. And if you have any questions, please email that as well. Thank you so much.